Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match cast, and this is going to be the final of Beta Flash 92, a match between Olkimos of USSR and Lurtz of Agartha. This is best of 3, so we'll see how it actually progresses in just a moment. As soon as the game loads up, and it's actually loaded up, let me go over the builds. So for Olkimos, let's see what we have for Olkimos. He is playing as the Alans, whereas his opponent Lurtz is in command of of the Saxons. So I'll go over the Alani build first. We have Germanic Nobles General with Brace, it seems. Now for the Cav contingent, we have, looks like a single skirmish Cav on the field, this interesting Grey Hairs unit. Very, very interesting. Now for the melee Cav contingent, well, we have two of these. What? This is weird. We have a Noble Alani Cav, looks like on each flank. No, a Noble Alani Cav on the left, a Noble Germanic Horseman on the right, a Noble Alani Cav in the center, and then we have actually a bunch of TIE Fali Cavalry. Looks like two of these TIE Fali Cavalry. TIE Fali Cavalry, as Maximus likes to call them. Then we have an Elite Sarmatian Cataphract on the far right. Huh, very interesting. For the melee contingent, or actually let's just go over the skirmishers, we have 4 of these Germanic hurlers in total. Now let's see. 3 Germanic pikes in the center, 2 Elite Agathyrsi on the right, 2 Elite Agathyrsi on the left. Now for the Saxons, that is Lurtz, we see the Nordic Raid Leader General with Brace, Cav contingent, 2 Heroic Cav on each flank, 2 Bronze 2 on the left, 1 Bronze 1 on the right with a Bronze 2 as well. His center contingent, let's see, 3 Nordic hurlers, so that's his entire skirmishing body, supported by a bunch of Nordic warriors. Looks like 3, 4, 5 of these Nordic warriors, one of which is Bronze 1. Now infantry contingent on the right, 2 Nordic Axe warriors. On the left, 2 Nordic Axe warriors. And we see 2 Saxon Lancers behind the main line as well. I kind of forgot to mention that. But anyway, we'll see how this one plays out. It's going to be fairly interesting to see how the Saxons rush the Alans here, because that's definitely going to happen here with all those axes on the field. Here we already see some nice damage being done here by the Grey Hairs. They could actually charge into the Axe Warriors if they wanted to. If they had charged into them, the Axe Warriors would have taken a lot of damage actually. But here it looks like the Heroic Cav is going to get slowed down by all these Alani troops. And I mean, the Grey Hairs sacrificing themselves for the Axe Warriors, maybe not the best. Actually, the Elite Agathyrsi were out of position. So, looks like here, some of the axes are going to get hit, but I don't really like this engagement for... I don't like this engagement at all for the Alans. They don't have infantry support. This is not good. The Agathyrsi are coming in, and this unit is doing weird things. For sure. I guess he's targeting the Heroic Cavalry, but weird things going on right here for the Alans. I do not like how the engagement is going for the Alans at all. Heroic Cavalry in great shape here. The Elite Sarmatian Cataphract going to die. And here this Grey Hair is going to do a great job. Here comes the Saxon Lancer charge straight into the Noble Alani Cavalry, but it's spread out. Both units are spread out so nicely that the Saxon Lancer is going to do a lot of damage on the charge, killing 5 of them, even getting a couple of units into the Elite Agathyrsi to chip off a few of those men. Heroic Cavalry coming in here. Definitely this unit is out of position. It's going to pull away, but it might actually get rear charged by this unit. Looks like the Noble Alani Cav going to get an easy rear charge onto the Heroic Cavalry. But here, as I was saying, the units of the Saxons are just pushing through because there was infantry support that came in too late for the Alans. This is just not going to go great for the Alans at all. Grey Hairs, though, still alive. They probably will go for a rear charge onto these axes, and in fact they have to. The left flank is not looking as desperate for the Alans, but it's still looking pretty bad. So the thing is, the Alans are not winning on the right. They're not winning on the left. Well, now they might with this rear charge on the axe warriors. It could change everything. But we'll see here. The heroic cavalry pulling through to get to the noble Alani camp. That definitely helps the Alans. However, the right flank, ooh, looks like this gray hair charge definitely changed a lot of things here. And now this means that the Alans could route this portion of the Saxons with some really well-timed charges. This elite Agathyrsic here being such a hero against the heroic cap and the axe warriors trading so well. The Germanic pikes still on the field but haven't really done much. However, the cav charges here should be massive into the Saxon Lancers and Nordic Warriors. These units here, heroic cavalry is actually going to lose to the noble Alani. Still, this noble Alani cav left on the field. Looks like it's going to try and go and finish off that heroic cavalry. Not a bad choice at all. This noble Germanic horseman is getting wasted. It's not really being used properly. And looks like, as I said that the Alans were doing well on the right, things have shifted completely. Raid leader engaged here with more units, and this gray hair should start dropping very, very soon. Now, as you can see here, heroic cavalry going to get focused by hurlers, but just not a lot of units left on the field for the Alans at this point. And by pulling out with this gray hair is just going to die and rout off the field, I feel. Still some cavalry left on the field for the Alans, but I don't think this is going to be enough for them at all. I mean, yeah, looks like this Germanic hurler here is going to die to this raid leader, but oh well. This is going to be a decent cav charge into the Saxon Lancers, but Saxon Lancers actually kill a lot on the charge here. And the raid leader is going to take some damage here from the noble Alani cav charge, but I mean, there are just not a lot of units left on the field for the Alans, and this doesn't look great at all for the Alans here. As you can see, even Germanic nobles have to support the fight here, and when Germanic nobles engage, well, you kind of know that you've already lost the battle when that is the case. But anyway, looks like these noble Germanic swordsmen. Did I see any noble Germanic swordsmen? I thought there were none. Huh, I guess I was wrong then. But yeah, at this point it's just... Ooh, this cav charge, I did not see it. The noble Alani cav here. Lots of kills on the charge. I mean, let's just zoom in and enjoy this close-up action. Yeah, noble Alani cav not liking this at all. Being in prolonged melee against the raid leader. Just going to chop down the Alani cav without a problem. Oof. So that raid leader just chopping down the unit. And now the raid leader could potentially go for a rear charge on the Germanic nobles. Looks like they're going to go straight into the pikes. Perhaps not what I want, but the pikes are not down. Now they're going to go down, but at a weird angle. Again, this is pretty weird. Heroic cavalry, though, getting into the Germanic pikes. Looks like the Germanic noble did manage to rout off the Nordic warriors, but at this point, this pike unit is just... It has no idea what to do and what to poke at. It's actually getting poked at from all angles. But looks like the pikes are kind of killing off some of the cav, but at this point, they're just routing off the field. More Saxon units left on the field, and suddenly this Germanic noble not gonna like a rear charge even by Nordic warriors. Right now, poor Germanic noble is going to get slaughtered. And that is game. So the Alans lose game 1. Again, I think because they engaged a bit too quickly on the right flank without infantry support, that's what happened. And I'm pretty sure that's what lost him the game as well. But anyway, that is game 1, so match point for Lurtz of Agartha in this best of 3. So I shall see you in game 2. This is game 2 of the match, potentially the final game if Lurtz also takes this one, which is definitely a possibility, but we will see if he's going to or not. Anyway, I'm gonna go over the factions and builds first. We have the Langobards for Olkimos, and Alans for his opponent, Lurtz of Agartha. Now, I'm going to go over the Langobard build first. We have Germanic nobles with brace. As for the cav contingent, we have one skirmish cav, this Germanic Knight Raider unit, deployed all the way over there. Now for the rest of the cav contingent, looks like a Germanic Lancer bronze 1 on each flank with a noble Germanic horseman as well. Then in the center we have these 2 noble Germanic horsemen. As for the skirmishes, well, we see 4 Germanic hurlers up front and The back lines, well, let's see. A Horsehewr on each flank, supported by, let's see, how many Gardensmen? Well, the Horsehewers are bronze 1, by the way, not like it really matters. A mix of Gardensmen and Gardens Chosen, so it seems like 2 Gardens Chosen in the center, supported by, in total, 2 Gardensmen. Okay, so we have 3 of these Gardens Chosen in total and just 2 Gardensmen. Okay. Now for the build of the Alans, though. Germanic Nobles with Brace. That is the general unit. Now for Cav. A single skirmish Cav, the Sarmatian Cataphract Archer, not a bad choice at all. On the left, the Cav contingent, Noble Alani Cav with Elite Sarmatian Cataphract. On the right, Noble Alani Cav with an Elite Sarmatian Cataphract. As for the center, it looks like 2 of these decent medium melee cavalry that the Alans have, the 2 Alani horsemen. For skirmishers, let's see, a Germanic hurler on the left, 2 Germanic hurlers on the right, and center, actually no, 4 Germanic hurlers in total, and a single Germanic bow in the center. Very, very interesting. For the infantry contingent, though, we have a mix of Sarmatian Warband and Elite Agathyrsi. So it looks like 1, 2, 3 Elite Agathyrsi warriors in total, with 4 Sarmatian Warband in total. So quite a lot of infantry power for the Alans, actually. Let's see if it can be used properly, that is. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit as the skirmish engagement starts. An interesting choice. The Alans prefer not to use loose formation, whereas the Langobards do. We'll see which one trades better here. Germanic hurler has actually taken a lot more damage, the ones of the Langobards, which is fairly interesting. Very nice damage being dealt here by these units to the enemy units, but as you can see, they've expended a lot more ammo. Here comes the Cav engagement. Elite Sarmatian Cataphracts charging in with Frenzy as well, destroying those Germanic ones. Noble Alani Cav against Noble Germanic Horsemen. Well, Noble Alani Cav will do a good job. No engagements here. The Germanic Knight Raiders chasing off the Sarmatian Cataphracts, so that's going to be good for the Germanic Knight Raiders. However, these two... This is pretty weird by the Langobards charging in like that without infantry support, so already this looks pretty bad for the Langobards. Basically, 2 Cav units are going to be lost essentially for free. The Germanic Knight Raider getting into the rear of the Cataphract Archers and doing a lot of damage though. Also with rapid advance, but here comes an Alani Horseman, so goodbye Germanic Knight Raider. But the flanking here could be very important by the Alans. Not the best charge though, definitely not the best charge. This unit should pull out immediately, otherwise it's going to get countercharged by Noble Germanic Horsemen now. As for this flank, this Germanic hurler over here was just routed off the field by the Alans. Some Cav charges coming in by the Alans, connecting with some of the Gardens Chosen actually, and this Elite Agathyrsi getting charged by Germanic Lancers, but it is going to get into the fight here and will be able to support. However, the main engagement here, as you can see, Noble Alani Cav going to get charged by Germanic Lancers, so they're going to take a decent bit of damage actually on the charge, especially with Horsehewr support. So being a bit overzealous here, the Alans, I think, especially with this Noble Germanic Horseman Cav charge. This is going to be really important here. It's going to do so much damage to the Sarmatian Warband. Sarmatian Warband here going to lose to Gardensmen, of course. On this flank though, these Elite Agathyrsi not doing great against Gardens Chosen. These Gardensmen doing well against Sarmatian Warband. Horsehewers here though might kill off the Noble Alani Cav, and here this Elite Agathyrsi going to die to Gardens Chosen as well. So all of these infantry units for the Langobards much stronger. Horsehewers here should stay in the fight because otherwise they're going to die if they continue to pull out. This does not look great though for the Langobards. Actually, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. On the left flank though, looks like the Sarmatian Cataphracts getting a nice charge into this Noble Germanic Horseman, but should lose in prolonged melee. As you can see though, Gardensmen and Gardens Chosen though, far superior to these Elite Agathyrsi. They're just mopping the floor with them. The General of the Alans is engaged in the melee, which could be bad. This Germanic Lancer not getting the best charge. And these 2 units about to get routed by a Gardens Chosen as well. This Noble Alani Cav not doing great, and here the engagement is going pretty bad for the Alans, as this Noble Germanic Horseman is going to wipe these 2 units off off the board. We still have this Noble Germanic Horseman engaging here. Just so much Germanic stuff. This Godden's Chosen is sadly Berserk right now, so it's just going to engage whatever it wants and pull out of whatever it wants. But really, at this point, it should be fighting the Elite Agathyrses, if anything. Looks like they're going to engage them, and they should win against them easily because they're fresh. And yeah, Godden's Chosen getting rear charged by Slingers and doing a surprising amount of damage actually, but they should still win against the Elite Agathyrsi over there. So at this point, it's looking very, very good for the Langobards, just because of the Godden's Men and the Godden's Chosen. They're just so hard to deal with. Over here, the Germanic Noble General of the Alans, not in great shape, and it's just turned around. Despite the really bad engagement that the Alans, the Langobards took in the beginning, Godden's Men and Godden's Chosen just turned around the game essentially here. So let's see. These Noble Germanic Horsemen are going to die to Alani Horsemen, of course. But I don't know where the Alani Horsemen were throughout the whole game, actually, because I didn't really pay attention to them. As you can see here, though, let's zoom in to this Cav engagement. Alani Horsemen here. Well, actually, all these units just chain routed off the field for the Alans. Pretty weird. That is interesting. Finally, the enemy general is dead. These Godden's Men have no idea what to do, though. These Godden's Chosen, looks like they're going to try and engage the Germanic Hurlers, who in turn are going to rout off the field. These guys are just going to get slammed. Ooh. So many decapitations, it's insane. Poor Alans. Again, they have no luck. They have no luck, the Alans. Just look at those Godden's Chosen and some of the Godden's Men making the game for the Langobards. That's what they did, just because they become fresh so easily. This is game 3, this the tiebreaker between these two players, and whoever wins this wins the whole tournament. It's going to be the winner of Beta Flash number 92, which is going to be important, of course. I mean, it's just a Flash tournament, so it's not like winning a big tournament like, say, Fury of Barbarians or Agony 2015 Team Championships or Cup of Nations, or, you know, or a Total War Attila League or anything like that. Really, it's not really big tournaments, it's just Flash. So, but still, they are still very important to do well in, but not the end of the world though, and they're not as important as everything else, obviously, but still pretty important. Anyway, let's go over to compositions. I kind of like the weather here, pretty nice actually. Now let's go over the factions. So we have for Olkimos the Sassanids, and for his opponent Lurtz, the Eastern Romans. Interesting matchup for sure. Let's go over the Sassanids. We have the Spachbedgen. He has Brace. Then we have 2 Skirmish Cav up front, 2 Zaydan Immortal Cavalry, 1 is Bronze 1. These Cav units can definitely do a lot of damage in melee. They have pretty insane melee stats for just Missile Cav. As you can see, their melee attack, melee damage, and charge bonus is pretty sweet for Bow Cav. Anyway, let's see. We have 2 Push Stigma Cataphracts on each flank, and up front we have 4 of these Persian Hurlers. Now let's see. We have some Persian Brigade. Looks like 2, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Infantry contingent 3, 4 of these elite Dalamite infantry. Now for the Eastern Romans, though, we have the Palatino Guards General with a Brace. Then we have 2 Tagmata Cav, Bronze 1 on the left, 2 Tagmata Cav, Vanilla on the right. We do see 2 more melee Cav units. Actually, 1 Ectus Promodi, Bronze 3, and then this Klebonari. Interesting choice. So that seems to be the entire Cav contingent for the East Romans. Besides that, we have, let's see, a bunch of Funditores, 4 in total. Looks like 2 Spears in the center, two Limitane border guards. Very interesting. They can serve as very nice missile bait. They are very cheap. Spear units, they have decent missile block chance and quite a lot of armor, so if you focus them, they're just going to eat your ammo like it's nothing. Especially once they go into this defensive testudo, it just makes them even more annoying to actually deal with. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to focus these guys with missiles, that's for sure. Then we have, looks like a Heterea with an Eastern Armored Legio on each flank. Actually, yes, that is the case. Then we have, how many Eastern Armored Legio in total? Looks like 4 of them. Interesting choice to bring these guys. They're kind of like jack of all trades, but they are fairly tanky actually, to say the least. They even have darts that they can throw, I guess. Anyway, that is the Eastern Roman build. I kind of like the Sassanid one more though. If it's used properly, the Zaydan Immortal Cavalry is just going to be massive, and the Pushtigbans can just crush through everything that basically the cav advantage definitely goes to the Sassanids, and the skirmish advantage, as you can see, well, nobody really gets it. I guess it's a little bit even, but I think the Persian Hurriers are still slightly better than Funitoris. Yeah, they are. Just ever so slightly. Just slightly better than Funitoris, though they're not great, of course. But anyway, let's see how this one's gonna go. We can fast forward a little bit, but definitely skirmish advantage goes to the Sassanids with those Zayadan Immortal Cavalry units. One of them already died though. I guess it was focused by this Funitoris and took a lot of damage, so that is something to be considered. Now though, this Funitoris is going to die to the Persian Hurlers, but I mean, Funitoris dying to Persian Hurlers is okay because Funitoris are just not as expensive as the Persian Hurlers actually. And over here come the Persian Hurlers. The thing is that the Persian Hurlers, I believe they may have more ammo. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember, but I think it might be the case. So here we have the Zayadans both on one flank over here. Looks like the Sassanids might go for some sort of attack here on this flank. And here they come. This Funitoris is getting caught by Persian Brigade. This could be really bad for the Eastern Romans if they push forward with the Tagmata. They're not going to because they don't want to get charged by Pushtigbans. Here though, we see the elite Daylamites pushing on forward against Limitane border guards, but Tagmata is going through trying to charge them, though charging through the own men. They might still get a decent charge off though, it seems. Here comes the Pushtigban. They're gonna make it into Hetereas, and that is massive. The East Romans are gonna be in a lot of trouble now as the Hetereas charged. It's basically almost rendered useless. Here comes the Persian Brigade to support against the Tagmata. Here come the Zayadan Immortal Cav. Eastern Armored Legio here. I mean, these two units will take so long to kill each other, but already East Romans in a lot of trouble because this Heterea is almost dead. Whereas this Pushtigman did so much damage here, it's already paid for itself. We need to see the Zayadans doing some stuff though. Here comes this Spabed General, which tries to engage but doesn't really do too well. Pushtigman's disengaged here, did not lose the whole unit surprisingly because there were some Hetereas there. This Gav charge by the Klibanari going to do well. This engagement though this is going to go very well for the Sassanids, but now they're going to get flanked by Eastern Armored Legio, so I don't think 2-on-1 situation here is the greatest. This Heterea is going to die, still getting a decent amount of kills though, surprisingly, before dying. Zayadan is going to get charged here, or followed by Tagmata, so they have to kite. Still, just destroying that Heterea without it being too much, without it being dealing too much damage was not the best, was not the worst. Klibanari here, I mean, what am I saying? It was amazing for the Sassanids. Klibanari here might actually, yeah, they're gonna take a long time to kill those elite Daylamites. Nice Gav charge here by the Pushtigbans, but there's only 25 of them, so they won't do too great against Equites Promoti. Here the Persian Hurriers got into melee for some reason. Tagmatas are gonna get stuck here against Persian Brigade and so they're not gonna do great. Pushtigman's here going to lose, but now these units are all freed up, so the general of the Sassanids can push forward, extra Pushtigmans too. Oh, this Pushtigman cavalry looks like it's gonna try and engage this Tagmata, and if it gets a decent charge off into this blob, it could be very important, of course. But I don't think they got the best charge off. This is just a massive blob. That's not what they should have gone for. They should just try to kite around or something, honestly. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's still getting a lot of kills. There's still a lot of Sassanid units on the field. And here is going to be a problem for the Eastern Romans. The Palatina guards are now going to get engaged here. This Klibanari has not really done too much for itself, so Pushtigman is going to end up charging into it. But this unit is going to get a decent charge off into all these elite Daylamites, so that's not good for the Sassanids. But Sassanids still have these Zayadan Immortal Cavalry. They're going to be very important. The Palatina guards have not lost much on the charge either. Still, the Persian hurlers here doing a nice job at stopping these Eastern Armored Legio for as long as possible. These Tagmata cavalry trading very well here. Still, the Tagmata cavalry is trying to pull out and chase off this Zayadan Immortal cavalry, but Zayadan going to kite. This Pushtigman looks like it's going to get a cav charge off onto the Palatina guards, but we see Tagmata cavalry trying to defend the general very nicely here. And it's now going to go into the Pushtigman, but we might still see some of the unit making it into the Palatina guards. Looks like it is going to do some damage, but also the charge affects the Tagmata cavalry, so the Palatina guard just dropping a lot actually, so it looks like the charge was not stopped as I thought it would be. But this game is so close right now, and all these Sassanid units are not looking good at all. They're using steady though, so they're not going to rout that quickly. But a Zayadan Immortal Cavalry is here, and with a rear charge they would do very well against these units, but the Hitrea still is here, still doing damage. However, the Palatina guards for the Eastern Romans are still on the field. Pushtigman here going to not trade so well after the initial charge against this Tagmata cavalry. Here comes the nice cav charge by the Pushtigman into all these units. It's going to connect with the Heterea, with the Eastern Armored Legio, with this Tagmata, and with this other Eastern Armored Legio. So it's going to do a lot of damage here. It's going to be very important. However, the general of the Sassanids is in okay shape. The general of the Eastern Romans, though, could end up dying soon, which is not really good at all for the Eastern Romans. Once the general dies, they're going to be out of the game. The Zayadan Immortal Cavalry is still alive for the Sassanids, which is again very important, because those units in the late game, they could just rear charge everything and just kill it. Here we see the Pushtigman is going in, the Heterea is getting charged, and at this point, with all these charges, I think that it's going to soon be over. Palatina guards still alive though. Not for long. They're going to end up dying. Pushtigman is going to disengage after the charges. And we're going to see the Zayadans going for a rear charge here into the Eastern Armored Legio. Should kill a lot of men. So they're at 114. I'm guessing that they'll drop to below 100 after that charge. Looks like I am close, but not quite. Anyway. Here comes the Pushtigman. This is going to do a lot more damage than the other charge. Some of the unit charges weirdly though, so I guess not, maybe. Okay, still doing so much damage to the Eastern Armored Legio with that charge. At this point, these two units routing off the field for the Eastern Romans. Still this Limited Border Guard and some Eastern Armored Legio on the field, but the Zayadans so important in this game. Pushtigman's doing a lot of damage as well. Just what a close game between these two players, but it's soon going to be over. The Romans are not looking great. Romans not looking great at all here. Eastern Armored Legio trying to do their best, but now they're gonna get charged. I mean, they're trying to support this unit, the Tagmata, holding strong against these two units, but I mean, right now there's just not much they can do. This is not much the Romans can do. Eastern Armored Legio getting stomped on by all these cavalry units. This Limited Border Guard routing off the field, and this one also routing, and it's a win for the Sassanids. Played by Olkimos. So Olkimos, wow, lots of kills on his cav as you would expect when playing as the Sassanids. But it seems like he's going to take a 2-1 victory here over the Lurtz of Agartha in the Beta Flash Tournament number 92 final. So congratulations to Olkimos for winning the tournament. Very well done by him throughout the tournament. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.